path on how I got to New York, actually. I was living in LA and I was on my way to a trade show in DC. I'd never been to New York, but was totally always intrigued by New York. You know, the music, the culture, the lifestyle, the fashion. I'd heard so much about it, but had never been there. So it seemed very foreign to me, but also very like, I want to experience it. And so I had a friend that was over there modeling, and he said, well, come see me before you go to DC and take the train and experience New York. And so I was literally there within 2 days. I'm just like, I fell in love with the place. And I had another friend that was living there. And I'm like, I'm moving here. And he's like, yeah, right. I said, I'm moving here. And he goes, all right, how's this? If you get here in the next 21 days, you can live in my apartment for as long as you want for free. I go, 21 days? Done. I literally went to my trade show, and those days counted. Got back, called my parents, and I said, I'm moving to New York. And they're like, really, when? I said, well, I got like 14 days to get there. So I quit my job, collected like $3,500 in commissions or something like that, moved out of my rent control apartment in Santa Monica, dropped all my stuff off at my parents' house in Danville, and then took a one-way ticket to New York, and I think I got there in 13 days.
That's awesome.
So I got to sleep on a parquet hardwood floor in a beautiful loft in Little Italy.
And then, so you get in with Bad Boy, or what were you doing when you first got to New York?
I was just getting to know the city, going out every night. Then after 3 months, I ran out of money, so I'm like, oh shit. But I was trying to get back in the music industry. When I lived in LA, I had a glorified internship at a record label called Tough Break Records.
Anyone on there that we would know of?
Dred Scott, Intelligent Hoodlum. Dred Scott was the one that probably broke out the most.
Okay.
And more of like a single. But no, it was like really street hip hop. It was under Capitol Records. And so I loved it, but I didn't really have a job there. You know, I think I got free lunch on Fridays, and you know, if we all went out to dinner, I think, you know, Evan would pay for dinner. But I was also doing like production work but I loved the music and the culture and the lifestyle. And so I'm like, I really want to work in the record industry. And so when I got to New York, in a weird way, I'd taken a job after that in an entertainment marketing company where I was actually making decent money. I just was bored with it. And it wasn't enough FaceTime with people. It was like, I felt like a cold caller dialing for dollars, selling like these unique opportunities, like go to the Super Bowl, you know, full hotel tickets, events, parties, like all that kind of stuff. And it sounded good when you looked at the brochure, or like when the owners talked about the company.
It sounds very Fry Festival.
Yeah, exactly. No, but it was legit. Okay. It was like a real business, but it wasn't really me or my personality. Yeah. And so I was just like getting very bored with it. But when I moved to New York, I kind of had a new standard. Like I actually got a real paycheck and like had benefits and all that. So I'm like, all right, I got to get a job as a product manager at a record label. But I really wasn't qualified to be a product manager, and I was a little too proud at the moment to be an assistant. So I was having all these great meetings at these record labels, but they were for assistant jobs, and I just didn't want to be someone's bitch. So I went the right way, right? So then I present this opportunity to Jeff about building this marketing agency, and then he said, well, good, put together a business plan and let's meet with Puffy. So we meet with Puffy. I take him through the whole thing. He's like, yeah. And at the very end, I put $2,000 a month just to show him that I was like all in. Like I just need enough to like get a bagel, some water, and like pay my rent. And he started laughing. He's like, $2,000 a month. I thought he was like, how are you gonna live?
Yeah.
I mean, because here he is. He pulls up like in the brand new convertible Mercedes. He's iced out. I'm sure he had $2,000 in his pocket. And he goes, you want me to pay you $2,000 a month? And I'm like I said, I just want to prove to you that I'm here to work and just enough to pay rent. He goes, fuck you. I ain't paying you shit. You eat what you kill. And I'm like, wow. I go, well, how do I pay my rent? He goes, that's your problem, not mine. He goes, you eat what you kill. If you want to eat what you kill, you get 10% of whatever you bring in. If you don't, that's cool. I'll just do it on my own. So I was too proud to be an assistant with a salary. Now I'm like
too poor to be commission.
Yeah, exactly. Too poor to take commission only. But I just said, you know what? I was still young. I think I was 25 or 26. I'm like, how many times in your life are you gonna have this opportunity? Like, he was still an artist. I mean, he was still a producer, but had
but was still in front. Yeah.
Yeah, he was leading that whole urban culture. And unfortunately, Biggie had just passed away like 3 or 4 months prior.
So this was
96.
96.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So. But he had just dropped Missing You, like literally just dropped Missing You like that week I met him. And like overnight, it changed his life.
Yeah.
Right. Went to #1 across all music formats. And so I said, fine. I said, if I need Jeff to come on a meeting, I said, give me a desk and a phone and I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And I called my parents and I said, I'm not going to try and ask you for any money, but if I do,
I may need something.
I may need your help. And my dad's like, of course, I got you. So I think always having that security blanket of having supportive parents.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I'd taken a step in the deep end and I had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
But I didn't ask him for any money. I just figured it out.